Hi, in this series of videos, we will be looking at how to add a shopping cart to our MVC music store. So I actually coded all this, but then I'm going to delete all of it again and show you how to code it. But I just want you to have an experience of what we are trying to create here. So if you, in the last assignment, I told you to create the store. Okay, so we did the browse and then we did the details. This is the index. And then we have the details. So this is what we did in the last assignment. And I'm hoping that you are all done with all these changes because it's really important for us to proceed further. So let's go back again and look at browse. So browse is by genre. I click on any of these items. That is being passed to the index. And then it lists me all the albums that belong to a genre. Again, I click on it. It shows me the details with the add to cart button. So that's where we left last class, right? So now we are going to add functionality to create a shopping cart. So we need a shopping cart index. Then we should be able to add to shopping cart and remove from shopping cart. So let me show you what happens when I add to a cart. So this is Aaron Goldberg, artist, and the Walls is the album. So see, it got added to the shopping cart. Just simple thing. Let me go and add again the, I don't know. Okay, here, there's one again. See now the quantity increased to 2. Total price changed. Let me go add it one more time. See, quantity increased to 3. Total price changed appropriately. I'm adding a different album now. So that should add as another entry with the quantity. Price should be updated again. Let's go add one more. Okay, Temple of Dog got added. Okay, so if I go and click on these remove buttons, let's remove Ring My Bell, gone. Then the price got updated. Let's remove Temple of the Dog, gone, and the price is updated again. If I remove this guy, every time I click on remove, one quantity will be removed. So I again removed, everything's gone. Okay, so I added this link here, cart. This I updated in the layout.cs HTML. So that is just going to show me the cart. So these are the changes that we are going to be doing. And just to give you an idea of how the flow would be, I recorded this session of the video and I created this application on my local that is fully functional. So that's the whole idea, okay? So, one more thing. If we go to cart, I did have a back to browse button that will take us back. So that is another functionality I added. Okay. So the way we are going to do it is, so if you see here, add to cart, I have an add to cart method. And then this remove is going to be an Ajax post back because we don't want random people removing our cart items. So that is going to be an Ajax post backs to a HTTP post method on a controller. Okay. Back to browse is going to be just an HTML action link. Very simple. And I just go to shopping cart. It'll show me what's on my cart. That's it. It's going to be like my index method. Anytime I can come in. As long as my session is open, it's going to work. If I close my session and then start again, this all will disappear. We are not going to be looking at how to check out, use PayPal and all that. I mean, that's a little bit of an overkill. So after this, exercise, we will move on to unit testing, and then we'll do our final project. So we are kind of coming to the end of our session, but I just want to be sure that you get like a real good experience with Ajax also. So this is the third week of Ajax. So that's the idea of today's lesson. So if you would look at it as a design, this is how the design is. So what I've done here is I have like laid out how we are going to be like dividing the work that we have in front of us. So we have our database here. So we are going to be creating model files, the cart.cs shopping cart view model. We'll be creating one more called shopping cart remove view model, because there is some data that we show when we remove. Let me explain a little bit about what a view model is. MVC is model view controller, but there is also a popular design called as MVVM, model view, view model. So the idea is here is that if a data is just used for display, and it's an aggregation from different tables that are already present, it is going to be duplication if we again throw it into a database. So instead of that, this is going to be a model very specific to a view, and it's going to die as soon as the application is closed. So I could like cherry pick from, different like album and genre and all those places and create my own model object that is just for display. It is not going to be used by entity framework to store to our database. So anytime you see a model that has a view model at the end, it means it is just for display. It's not going to be in your database. This cart.cs is going to be tied up to an entity framework, and that there will be the database written out according, like a matching database will be there for this cart code base. Okay, so that part we have covered. Now let's look at controller. Of course, we have three controller actions. We have the shopping cart index, we have add to cart and remove from cart. These three functionality, they are going to be action methods, and they will be in our controller, just like how we have done so far. We will be creating an empty controller and adding our methods, because we don't really need to do like a CRUD operation on this particular situation. The only new thing that we are going to do at this point is the business logic layer here. We are going to call that as the shopping cart. At any point in time, your shopping cart could have multiple albums with multiple number of quantities, and there could be like a running total of the price. That is not going to be stored in the database. What will be stored in your database will be your individual entities. So let me explain what I mean. Let me just add a couple here. Okay, so if you see, this is our total shopping cart. What you see here is our total shopping cart. So this shopping cart has items. Each item here, each album here is an item. So like for example, if I have an album that is more than one quantity, it is still going to be shown here as like one item with the quantity, right? So live disc 2 is a cart item. Copeland Celebration Volume 1 is a cart item. Mozart is a cart item. These cart items are going to be of the type cart object. Okay, they will be of the type, this model cart will have like, will define how this model will look. But this total page itself is going to be a virtual object called a shopping cart. And it is going to have a bunch of items here, and it's going to also hold the running total. But this data, this aggregate data will not be in the database. The database will only have the individual items. Each and every individual item will be an entry in the database. They will all have a common ID called as cart ID, but they will also, each entry will have a unique ID, which would be the primary key of that table.